Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you a He Said, She Said reading for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine for the week of April 29th to May 5th. Okay, and for those who haven't, no lengthy intro right now, and I do invite you to watch the Twin Flame Weekly reading because there are a lot of messages about this different energy that has just come in, which is the dove energy, and what it means for twin flames and the rest of the inhabitants of our planet. Okay, and it's very important, so please do check that video out. Anyway, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them, and this week we're going to answer questions about the ascension journey of both twins. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to ask, and this is going to be for the divine masculine. Okay, so for the divine masculine, what do you feel about your ascension journey? Okay, we have the Five of Coins. Let's put that here first. And then we have, this is the countryside. And the ring. Okay, look at this. Here, the divine masculine, feeling a bit, here we have two poor children. Now, the divine masculines, while they are going on their ascension journey, they feel a bit kind of skeptic, because in this particular deck, which I was guided to use, here these children are being sort of ushered by this man. But during this period of time where, I forget what this deck is called, yeah, I can't read it from here because I don't have my glasses. But this was in England, I think in the 1400s or 1500s, wherein there was much abuse going on. And so these two orphans, it seems, are looking with skepticism at this man, because while it seems as though he's taking them under his wing, being charitable, they're not sure if it is he's being charitable for the sake of appearances only, or if he's truly being generous with them. So that's why I say that some of the divine masculines are looking at their ascension journey with this skepticism. However, there is an underlying feeling there of this promise, rest. This is rest. Wait a minute. Let me turn down the volume of my computer. Of rest and actually being themselves. Remember, because divine masculines are trying to break free of that mold wherein the old paradigm, wherein they had to live up to a certain standard. And a lot of their pain came from that. So here, a certain promise of rest and respite and just being themselves. This is the countryside. But right now, they're feeling sort of skeptic, but going along with it. Okay, next question that we're going to ask the divine masculines. Divine masculines, what is your level of recognition of your twin flame, your divine feminine? Okay, this goes to the level of recognition. Okay, we have here the Nine of Coins. Okay, let's put that here first. Here, Amity. Okay, this is a new beginning. Look, he recognizes that you see here this knight, and he's looking at almost like a skewer of coins, and there's a crown there. So he is very close to reaching the level of full recognition. And with that comes, that's why there's these energies. Here we have sort of the odd couple here, flora and fauna, wherein he's not quite sure why they're made for each other, but they go together like two peas in a pod. And then we have the storks here signaling a new beginning in the realm of romance. So there is recognition here, but it's not yet full, it's not yet complete. It's as if some of the divine masculines are asking themselves, okay, so it's there, so should I pick that up? Or is he fine by himself? But there is the recognition there of the potential of the two storks being together, him and his divine feminine, and the same here. Okay? But then not making that crucial decision to go the distance yet to complete that recognition and actually do something about it. Okay, third question for the divine masculines: what are you having most difficulty with in your ascension journey? Here we have the Ten of Cups. Here we have Vorpep. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay. Okay. And this is the ship. Okay, what is he having most difficulty with? Here we have the Ten of Cups. And that is, in other decks, that would be fullness, emotional, satiety, satisfaction. But here in this particular deck, you have a performer, and he is showing all these cups, and but we don't know what happens behind the curtains. It's like he's doing it for show. Okay, and that's what he's having most difficulty with, being vulnerable. Okay, showing what's behind the curtain, what is not there, because this is all theft. You see the bat here, and trying to, I think this is a rat, trying to abscond with a rat, and this is part of his journey. Okay, ship, meaning going, it's like travel, it's an adventure for him. But in this adventure, he's being challenged by the fact that he has to show the chinks in his armor. Well, first of all, accepting that there are chinks in his armor, and then being open about it and leaving oneself vulnerable, because that is part of his authenticity. And if you watch a Twin Flame weekly reading, that is part of what the dove energy brings, the self-acceptance of all the imperfections. And that's what the divine masculine is having trouble with. At least as a collective, most of you, okay? You know that this is a general reading. Okay, so next question for the divine masculines. Divine masculines, what do you want from your twin flame, the divine feminine, at this time? Three of Cups. Okay. Okay, we have Lu, Lu, and okay, we have clover, the four-leaf clover. Okay, look, it seems that the divine masculines also want to create third energy with their divine feminines. And that's why in the Twin Flame Weekly reading, they are really on the cusp of making themselves whole and matching the energy, so that the this opportunity to get the most out of the dove energy, which would be equivalent to the third energy, the third coin here, okay, could manifest. And here, this is feeling very emotional about it, but feeling good at the same time, having positive feelings about creating that with their beloved. This third energy, which is symbolized by the Holy Spirit. Okay, so he wants to create the third energy with the divine feminine, and he is anticipating it as much, even despite his skepticism. Okay, feeling good about it, feeling that it's going to go his way, even if he is traversing uncharted territory, so to speak, especially when it comes to his emotions. And that would be the ship card here, but on sea. Okay, and the last question for the divine masculines. What message do you have for the divine feminine, your twin flame, at this time? Okay. Okay, see the world card. Beauty. And here, two doorways, saying that this pertains to a choice that he has to make. So the message of the divine masculines for his beloved is that, look, he's nearing completion. He's nearing union. And I see the ravens there, and I'm reminded of I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones, but that last episode, episode 3, was pretty much epic. And here, and I would connect that to the meaning of this card, except that it would be spoilers for some of you who haven't watched yet. So I'll hold off on that. But here, the world card, you can see here, this is almost like an elemental, and he is communing with the trees and the forest and being one with them. He is actually absorbing everything, including the roses here, which represent beauty and the higher aspects of life here in 3D. So that's coming into an intertwinement, okay, with the messages, the things that he is doing here on earth, with himself rather, his true nature. They're all coming together. And here, what he's saying, telling the divine feminine, is in this process of making himself complete, he has to make a choice, and he has made his choice, and he has picked the higher aspirations. You see, this card is beauty. You have the flower here, topped by a heart, topped by a crown. That's like the blossoming of it's like the chakras being lit up from the root chakra onto the crown. And it's the same as the Kundalini rising, okay? And in doing so, that's where he has to make a choice if he actually wants this, so that the great project, which is the divine masculine, can be complete, okay? And the great mission of the twins. But this is the free will, okay, that they have been gifted with prior to incarnating here. So he's saying that while this is in the offing, right, he needs to choose it, okay? And this is where his free will comes in, okay? So what we can all do is support and make sure that the divine masculine is at a point in his own personal ascension journey wherein he picks the highest good, because they can always pick otherwise. They can pick the other door where the sun is not shining through as much, because this is sunset and that is a daylight. It's like a warm white, like the bulbs. Okay, so anyway, that's his message for the divine feminines at this time. And I'll be back with the questions, the very same questions for the divine feminine. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back with the She Said portion of the reading, and this time we're going to ask the Divine Feminine Twin Flame Collective what their answers are to the very same questions that we asked the Divine Masculine. Okay, so let's start. Okay, of course, I've already prayed over the cards. This is the deck that I was asked to use. I don't know why. I will see. Okay, so Divine Feminines, what do you feel about your ascension journey? Okay, Seven of Swords. Okay, let's put that there first. Oh, we have the Beauty card again. And here, this is intuition. Look at this. Here we have the Thief card, and here we have... So what this indicates to me is that the Divine Feminines feel that they need to filter out what those thoughts that they thought were already cast in stone, because it was what society dictated, it was what it was expected of them, and like this young boy, he's leaving camp, and with the thoughts that serve him, given his enlightenment, if you would call it, about being on the ascension journey, and there is and leaving those thoughts which don't resonate behind. So again, it's a filtering, and they feel, the Divine Feminine feels that they're doing this under the radar, quite surreptitiously, and relying more not only on thoughts, but more on their intuition in order to ascend. I already explained this card during the Divine Masculine, He Said portion of the reading. So that's how they feel about their ascension journey. It's going under the radar, but really filtering what to take with them, and relying more on their intuition other than just what is visible to the eye, or what they have been conditioned to think. Okay. Next question. Divine Feminines, what is your level of recognition of your twin flame? Okay, we have the Wish card, the Nine of Cups. We have Amor, the Love card. And then we have the Whip. Okay, here we have the Nine of Cups. So as far as the level of recognition is concerned, this is basically, it's like a heart full of joy, because this is the Wish card. It's holding their twin flame in very high esteem. You can see the cups here. They're above the display cupboard. It's like putting this kind of love on a pedestal for all to see. So there is recognition, and that recognition is very palpable. And here, this just confirms it. But this recognition, here we have the Whip card, and the whip and the broom. And because there's this recognition, whatever status that the divine feminine has in 3D, the relationship status in 3D, if they're not in union yet, this is what the whip card is about, and it's also number 11, right? Because it causes this knowledge actually brings them a lot of pain, because they know the ideal and they know what is happening in actuality, and bridging that gap is what causes this this hurt, this pain, because you're acutely aware of the absence. But as far as the heart is concerned, there is recognition there. They know, and they've accepted that. Okay? Next question for the divine feminines. What are you having most difficulty with in your ascension journey for the divine feminines? Here. That's a very clear answer. Okay. Okay, we have in fortune and ship, which would be the journey in itself, the ascension journey, traveling to different destination. And it's clear here that what the divine feminines have, or at least most of the collective have find challenging, is this waiting, this pause, this being turned upside down and seeing things in a different perspective. But more, it's being suspended. And this is the handicap that they have to deal with, especially while traveling, because it's like putting, I don't know if you, okay, it's like going downhill on a bike, not a motorbike, a manual bike, right? And while there is momentum already there, especially with the divine feminines, because there's recognition, there's momentum there, and you're just supposed to roll downhill. And yet they have to, it's like putting their foot down or trying to use the brakes to control their speed, because they're waiting for the divine masculines to match their momentum and match their speed so they can arrive at their destination at the same time. And that is the suspension, and that's why it's a handicap for them, okay, in this journey. Okay, so there. Next question. Okay, divine feminines, what do you want from your twin flame, the divine masculine, at this time? But of course, Two of Cups. Okay, we have traffic. Oops. Okay. Okay, and this is books. Here, first of all, we have the Two of Cups, which is, what does the divine feminine want from her beloved? This is increased affection, romance, togetherness, that reciprocation of that feeling. And then we have the caduceus here, which is also mirrored here in this card. And this card in the Melini Oracle signifies increased negotiation. It's like a gradual increase. It's a crescendo when it comes to music. So that's what they want from their divine masculines. And then we have the book card, and this is a closed book, which says that she's keeping this sort of a secret. She can't tell the divine masculines outright. So right now, this is sort of a secret that she's keeping. Perhaps if the divine masculine goes right out and asks them, she would tell him what she wants. but for now, it's being kept secret. It is sort of a locked book for now. But inside those books are these dreams of being together and wanting to commune with her divine masculine. Okay, and the last question, divine feminines, what message do you have for the divine masculine, your twin flame, at this time? Okay, we have here the Princess of Swords. And we have here the birds. Okay, I'm not going to even try to mention that in French. Okay, here. Here we have the Queen of Swords. And the message of the Divine Feminine to her beloved is that one must be very astute. The Divine Masculines should be very astute, especially when it comes to the messages they're receiving. And in the prior weeks reading, synchronicity has had it's like a leading role, especially when it comes to the divine masculine. And here, this is using analyzing those messages, really, and not just letting them pass the divine masculines by. See, because we have birds here, and these are excited birds. They're converging with each other, because if you have too much signs and synchronicities, then certainly the universe is trying to tell you something about your divine feminine. And some of these messages that the divine masculine, she's saying that they're coming from her. Okay, and that's why the divine masculine should be as alert. It's like battle ready. It's like everyone in Winterfell prior to tonight's episodes, on your toes, because they hold these messages, whether they're messages that are meant to help him in his ascension journey so that it goes smoother, whether it's messages just reassuring him that she's waiting for him and that she loves him, because this is excited chatter. And then we have birds figuring out here, and then this is the sword. It's like the sword of truth. Okay, and so basically divine feminine is saying is that in all those synchronicities or messages that are coded, that are being sent to the divine masculine, if he uses his head, because this is not the most emotional of all queens, that would be like the Queen of Cups, all he needs to do is to decode those messages, to use his head, which is what he has relied on for some time now, being very logical and all that. But since he is awakened now, he can at least be aware that there's other meanings in the signs and the synchronicities that are being shown to him, and that there is a deeper truth behind that as regards the divine feminine. And she's asking him to be more aware of that, because he's on a journey. Okay, so anyway, that's what I have for you. And I well I let you know about the hold on here. I let you know that last week we had an earthquake, and then I had to go someplace else on the pretext of work, but really it was to ground because of that, the incoming energy that we're currently riding. And so I decided to extend the Easter promotions for another week until the end of next week, of this week rather. Okay, so for those, because if you watch a Twin Flame reading, divine masculines are really close, but the pathway needs to be clear. They have to be activated in divine light and to walk in the path towards divine union. And that's why I offered initially the advanced Rashiba sessions for men at 50% off. Now I'm extending that offer only until the end of this week. So, and that would help activate his divine light, anchor himself to Mother Earth, open his passageways for divine union, turn on the love aspect of his chakras, and ignite sexuality within divine light. Okay, so if you would like to assist your divine masculine, but this is not exclusive to divine masculines, any male in your life that because it's like we've made the foundation for this energy to actually the incoming dove energy to actually benefit everyone on the planet, all the males. But of course, that's why there's this collective purging, because before this energy comes in, they have to purge. And Rashiba is one of the fastest ways to do that. Okay, so if you know of a male that's close to you or your divine masculine, then it would be a good time, a good tool to help them get the most out of the dove energies right now. Okay, and of course, because I offered both, I'm also extending the rapid romance reading, which is in this format, except that the questions are already sort of like packaged. Okay, of course, I'm going to offer later on a reading where you can pick the questions that you want to ask. But for the rapid romance reading, the questions that are going to be asked is, what does he, she feel about me? How does he view our relationship at present? What does he want from me at present? What action will she, he take towards me next? And what message does she, he have for me that he, she can't say yet? Okay, and this is still at the introductory price of $25. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Take care and get the most. I hope that you get the most of this, the dove energies that are awakening right now. And if you want to know the significance of that for twin flames and divine masculines and divine feminines and the rest of the people on the planet, please do check out the Twin Flame Weekly reading because I explain it there. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye.